We've heard a number of complaints from the government here in Beijing this week about the American debate on TikTok. I find it supremely ironic because government officials here are using the X platform to criticize the United States. They don't give their own citizens the right to use X, to use Instagram, to use Facebook, to have access to Google. And so it is ironic indeed that the government here is complaining about a process when they shut down access for 1.4 billion Chinese to all of these platforms. Every country has a duty and responsibility to protect its national security. And what the president has done over the last year and a half is to make it impossible for sensitive American technology, advanced semiconductors for AI purposes, to be sold to China, because we know it will happen. We know that the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, will take advantage of that technology to strengthen itself at the expense of the American military. We're not going to do that. We're not going to compromise on national security, and we're not going to negotiate. And you can bet that the government here in Beijing is taking similar measures. They have not allowed, for most of the last 20 years, the export of core, sensitive, national security applied Chinese technology to the United States. And so, you know, every government, and certainly our government, has a right to take these decisive steps, and that's what we're doing.
I also talked to a lot of businesses, and we all know about the FDI numbers, foreign direct investment, down to the lowest gain since 1993. There is hesitation, not only because of the economy is weak, but also because of the myriad of different national security and the opacity of such policy, especially coming out of the National People's Congress. We didn't get a lot of clarity on policy. We do know, and you were in that 60 Minutes interview where you did talk about U.S. companies such as Bain and Company, Mintz, and others who have seen raids and they've seen arrests of U.S. citizens. Can you elaborate on the threat and the pall that has been cast over the investment community and doing business, Americans doing business in China at this time?
I think this is a question central to the U.S.-China relationship for the next year and the year beyond. We have a $575 billion two-way trade relationship. China's the third largest trade partner of the United States. There are thousands of American companies doing business here. Here's the problem. They're hearing conflicting signals. Some senior Chinese government officials say private sector investment is welcome in China, your investment will be protected. But then these companies are also hearing a different message, whether it's the raids against American companies of last March and April, whether it is the opacity of the counter-espionage law, where espionage is defined in such a general way that normal activities in any other country of the world, the collection of data, could be construed as espionage. And so we see American firms backing away, or at least being very cautious about investing a lot of money here because they're not sure where the lines are. And I think the voices that they're hearing from the government here in China about national security, they're the strongest and loudest voices right now.